Yeah, could be.
Here, wow.
Fix the chair.
That's his choice.
Oh, it is his turn?
Yes.
Oh. Is that messing up here?
Yeah, just look.
Okay.
Set has to be perfect.
Oh. We're gonna get snow on Sunday, guys.
So I hear.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
They say, yeah,
When?
about 5 inches more Saturday night into Sunday.
Really?
You need not to drink over, Joanne.
I did.
The turn of rain.
It is.
The problem is, it's January. If getting snow in January is a surprise, we've already got troubles.
That's true. I didn't expect snow in November and then rain all December either.
Okay, folks, it's 6 o'clock. I'll call the Selectmen's meeting to order. Please join me in saluting the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag
The United States of America, and to the
republic which stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And we have the speaker. You'd like to talk to us tonight. This is Steve Bodkin.
That's me.
Okay, you want to...
So I'm a forester working for Paul Goranson up on Moose Mountain.
Okay.
And I'm here tonight to talk through some of the circumstances of the shape of the property and the subsequent sale of an undesignated or unknown property back up in there that I understand is starting to be in the works for the town for unpaid taxes. There's a small piece up there.
Yes.
That I believe, based upon some of the mapping that I've seen and some of the deed work that I've seen on Paul Goranson's piece, might be his. So what I wanted to bring to you guys was the idea and some of the, well, again, it's a couple of plans I have done by licensed surveyors. They're not surveys, they're plans. And some of the deed work on some of the abutting properties, again, has led me to show that the mapping of what you guys have out there, combined with some of the inconsistencies of the way the town line has been drawn through the years, has given Paul quite a heavy change in what A, the shape of his property looks like, and B, what its acreage assessment happens to be. So there was a forestry plan written in 2014 with a lot of this information, and I brought that forward and updated it to hopefully bring to you guys to see where that might match with the, again, the sale for unpaid tax piece.
Okay, let me set the stage.
Sure.
Up on, off of Governor's Road, back up in the woods, there was a 20-acre parcel that the town didn't know who owned. For years, it was unknown.
Mhm.
3 or 4 years ago, we started being official about it and saying that we're not collecting taxes because we don't know who owned it. This past year, we deeded it to the town because the taxes were never paid.
Okay.
So the town owns 20 acres, landlocked up on the hill, and we could never find out who owned it. So now you're talking about that parcel, that 20-acre parcel.
I believe so. Again, this is all the information that I have, and since, as I understand it, the town, like you said, had never known who owned this piece, so, and therefore, just that information alone says that no one has paid taxes on it. If someone had paid and were delinquent, then you would know who you would be talking with as to how to go about getting your unpaid tax. The reason that Paul hasn't come forward with any of this information is that, again, the acreage assessment of what he has had is already, let's see, as I understand it, unless things have changed recently, his property up there is being assessed somewhere in the 270 plus acre range. Based on the surveys that have happened since that mapping has occurred that I have, and some of this other deed information from 2014 forward, is bringing his piece to be more like somewhere in the mid 230s, 234, 237, something along those lines. And again, based upon some of the neighboring surveys, list him as the abutter for where I believe this unknown property is. You guys don't know where this unknown piece is, other than it's landlocked and it's back in the woods somewhere about here, so to speak. And I've got the information from the 1973 or 4 plan that begot the Moose Mountain ski area plan was where a lot of the information I'm looking at. And it's showing the previous owner to the Goranson fellow that I'm working with as in this area where you guys have drawn this piece. So like I said, without going through and surveying an entire 240 acre parcel for unknown thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars, I believe he's already been assessed for a larger parcel of property, and the mistake that has happened has simply just been in the mapping. Again, the town line is a little bit inconspicuous out there. It's not drawn. If you look at Middleton and the Brookfield town line, you see that the jagged edge of the towns overlap. There have been parcels up there that were bought recently by the Society for the Protection of New Hampshire Forest that has surveyed some of the Middleton side of Mr. Goranson's property that I believe changes the shape from the way that it's drawn on the current Brookfield town tax maps. And like I said, that combined with some of the information from the previous 1974 plan for the Moose Mountain ski area shows a 25 acre parcel in 2 different places as being owned by this guy, but the shape and exactly the shape and the exact acreage down to the acre isn't necessarily concrete, if you kind of follow what I'm saying. So you guys understandably have followed through with your process, but Mr. Goranson wasn't following through with trying to prove that it was his because he's already presumed he owned it and is already being taxed for what I believe is plus or minus 40 acres greater than he actually owns. So unless he can prove the entire mountainsides survey to prove to you that the town, mapping is where the fault lies, then it's hard for him to, prove that to every abutter up there and the town all in one fell swoop without paying more for a survey to survey the whole mountain than the property is practically worth. So again, I'm trying to come forward with the information to you guys and say, I believe he owns this piece. Here are 2 pieces of information that says that the location that you're calling this unknown piece most likely has his name on it. And again, to him, because he's already being assessed at 275 or 277, he wouldn't have come forward because he's already being assessed for a higher number of acres than he owns. So we're left here trying to have Paul say, what do I need to do to prove it to you guys that that piece is mine, without actually surveying the entire mountain to show. It would cost way more money than the worth of the unknown property would be. So
Does Paul agree that it is indeed a separate parcel regardless of the exact size? But does he agree it is a separate parcel and not part of an existing parcel that he already owns? Am I understanding?
The way I understand his deed work has come to pass through the years is his 236 acre or 5 acre piece originally was of 3 deeds. So not being a surveyor, I didn't dive headfirst into this as to say exactly whether this 25 acres or however many you call it was an independent deed of that. All I know is that his acreage is 40 acres greater than he owns, and I've got 2 sources of information that says that this piece, I think that the town's mapping, without having an owner, just assigned a map and lot to this unknown lot, and now years later you're trying to say, okay, we're put in the position where now we have to look for unpaid taxes on it, we have to sell it. I don't think that it was ever not part of Paul's property. I just don't know what it's going to take for him to prove to you that it is. So.
For other cases like this.
Sure.
Where it's been acreage questions.
Yep.
It's always been a survey.
Okay.
I mean, that's very clear. A surveyor puts his mark on it. We read all the deeds, we think this is where the lines are.
Mm-hmm.
I understand this situation because if you look at the map, the straight line, if you continue one of the boundaries that goes right past this 20 acres that's just hanging out there.
And the 2 abutters at the point of that 20-something acres reads my landowner as an abutter to it.
Really?
So that's what I'm getting at is I don't have a full-blown survey that has recently been stamped to say Paul Goranson owns 20 acres, or however many that it is. But the acreage of the lot as you have, the location and the acreage of the lot as you have assigned it. I have 2 locations of paperwork, one in the past plan for the Moose Mountain ski area, and one as a survey for the neighbor that lists him as the abutter. So again, that's
Could you give us copies of this?
I can,
Give
yep.
us copies of what you have, we'll look at it with your name on it, so we can
Sure.
contact you. Once we understand what you're showing us, then we'll have to talk to our lawyer how to proceed.
Sure.
Because I understand the cost of the survey, I understand this, it's hanging out there, and I think it might be a mapping error from 20 years ago. I mean, we've been carrying this forward for years, and we said we've got to tighten it up. So, all right, if you would give us that information, we'd take a look at it.
Yep, not a problem.
All right, thank you. Anything else for us?
That's all I came for, unless you got any other questions of me.
You know, like many things, when you try to answer a question, you generally generate 5 more, so.
That's usually how it works.
Appreciate you doing the homework and
Yep.
gathering that.
Yeah, there's a lot of explanation that you'll probably be asking me. It's taken me, weeks of jumping into this jigsaw puzzle of lines that lie up there on the mountainside. So I wouldn't doubt that if I straight up just gave you this paperwork, it will generate more questions, and you may or may not even understand it specifically without me walking you through it. So if that comes to pass, by all means, just call me and bring me back in, because like I said, if I go to parcel A, and parcel A says that the former owner of Goranson lies as his abutter across this line, then that's one of my pieces of evidence. And then the other one simply says straight up from a surveyor, while not a survey, because again, the property is 230-something acres, was never fully surveyed, but it says right on the plan from 1974, there is another Goranson property of 20 to 25 acres that lies right here. But its shape is kind of unknown. So between those 2 pieces of information, I feel pretty comfortable that it's where you're talking about your unknown piece's location.
Yeah, we looked at the deed originally when we started down this path. I think some of the deeds were pretty old.
Yes.
The original ones were like 100 years old. They were very old, so it was difficult.
And most deeds that are that old usually say Steve abuts Bob, abuts Ron, abuts Gail, and it doesn't give lines or descriptions most of the time, and those are tough to bring forward with facts, really.
Okay, good. Thank you very much for sharing that, and give us the information when you get a chance. Either
Yep.
copy it or mail it to us, whatever you'd like.
Do you have contact information of someone that I can gather this up for and then call back and say I can come by to deliver?
Sure, it should be the assessor clerk,
Okay,
and he's here Thursday and Friday mornings.
okay,
And then contacts on our website.
Yeah, he's got a
Okay,
got a business
it's
card.
Yeah, you're gonna get your business
Okay.
card.
you all good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you very
Chris,
much.
you need anything back there?
Appreciate the work you've done.
No problem. Yep.
Karen has some,
Yep, I'm coming around. Right there. Thanks. Bye, guys.
Thank you. Okay, we have meeting minutes from December 19th.
I have read through the minutes, and I'll make a motion to accept that as presented.
I'll second it. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And any public input?
I have a little bit.
Okay, go ahead.
Thank you, Dan. I just wanted to say that the newsletter schedule for this year looks like about mid-February, May with the tax bills, mid-August, and November with the tax bills, as far as the print editions going up. And of course, I'll keep up the website otherwise.
Okay.
yeah, I had, one. I'm sorry, Jen. Somebody asked me if you would put the hours that the town clerk is here, the tax collector is here, even though I know it's on the website, somebody said they would like it in the newsletter. I don't know if
I can have that.
maybe the assessors, maybe the people in the office.
The core few
Yeah.
or whatever, yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Yep.
And could you put a blurb in about please signing up for the email alerts?
Yes.
People still don't do that. We're checking in how many people we have subscribed, but it's free. Okay. Yes.
Just a couple quick things. There were a few of us who attended presidential primary training in December. So that feels good and like, we know what's coming. I was curious if you have set up at a date for the ballot booths.
We're going to put the booths up this Friday at 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
Okay,
But the facility's being used Thursdays.
yes.
So we'll have to get in there close to election day to put the rest of the tables up.
Okay,
And generally, we do that
that's
Saturday or
Saturday,
Sunday,
Sunday.
so everybody can get in there, put their posters up, and
Okay,
so that's going to most likely be the weekend just before the election.
okay. Do you need help on Friday, or are you guys, do you need volunteers, or?
No, we have two's plenty for this.
Okay, great.
You gotta remember though, you're talking two old fat guys, so.
Yeah, but that's,
That's good, okay.
it's wonderful.
And then I sent an email, but I just sent it today. There's town moderator training on January 13th that I wanted to take, and it's $55 Zoom. I didn't want to submit an expense without you knowing that. Is that okay?
Please do it, yes.
Okay, great, thank you.
Education is good.
Thanks.
Anything else?
Just, Karen, would you mind walking the town office for me and John either tomorrow, well, tomorrow would be Wednesday, sometime tomorrow so that we can sweep before yoga?
Oh, sure.
Okay. Oh,
Cassandra will be here tomorrow, she could do a
Okay.
note for you. I was wondering about, on the men scheduling a dinner, did they come up, because I had heard a couple of different dates.
I haven't heard any dates.
No?
27th, I think.
January? Are you gonna do that one?
Oh, man, that's gonna be a squeeze. We're gonna have all voting booths up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're going up this Friday and they'll be in that area until after the vote, so probably February would be a better option.
Who's in charge of that?
Rick.
you want something on the newsletter page for that, or no?
Well, apparently we don't have a date yet, so.
Okay, well, when you get a date.
The planning board is sponsoring it, but Rick is the main force behind it.
Generally, we leave the booth up until after town election.
Oh, that's right, yeah,
March.
yeah,
They're so much fun to put up and take down.
yeah.
I guess we could look at moving them onto the stage or something if the stage isn't required. I'll talk to Rick. We'll see Rick at the planning
Yeah,
board.
because at the December holiday, we didn't use the stage area at all. So, it's a good,
If I'm sure we can move the booth, they might just collapse.
yeah, I'm for sure.
All right, we'll talk to Rick.
Okay.
All right, thank you, Joanne. There's a planning board meeting coming Monday. I guess it's going to be discussed if this is happening. Okay, boards and committees. Craig, you have anything for us?
No.
Town clerk, you have anything for us?
Just a couple of reminders. We do have the new dump stickers. The current ones expire at the end of January. They're still $5, so people can get them sooner rather than later. We have them available. If I'm not in the office, other people in the town office will have them available if they're here. Absentee ballots are here. I've sent out a number of them. We're still getting absentee ballot requests. The requests are online under the town clerk election page. And they have to be received by 5 o'clock on the day of the election. So we send in an application, a request for an absentee ballot, and then I process it and send it to you or hand deliver it. And just a reminder for people to not just drop absentee ballots back into anyone's hands or drop them through the mail slot. They have to be mailed or hand delivered to the town clerk. And the only other thing, it's dog season again, so I do have new dog tags for 2024. They officially have to be All dogs have to be registered by April 30th. There's a little bit of a grace period till June 1st, but we do have them available, so people can start purchasing.
Okay. Chris, you have anything for us other than the rainstorm?
Yeah, we had the usual washouts on Tumbledown Dick Road and Walker Road. I think they were probably impassable for about 24 hours or so. Basically all day Monday of the storm, and we filled them in early on Tuesday morning, but there was a significant period of time where you couldn't get through. There was trees that blocked the road on Garney Road, Stoneham Road, and Clark Road. Those have been cleaned up for the most part. There's still a little bit of debris that still needs to be picked up. And we found some culverts around town that are not any good from the storm. So Tumbledown Dick Road, Robinson Road, and Walker Road. So moving forward into summer next year, we'll have some culverts to replace.
You think the cost of the storm overall is going to be?
I think somewhere between 40 and 50,000.
Okay. Well, thanks for getting on. I mean, the roads were cleaned up pretty well. I was out there, saw what you were doing. There were holes all over the place, some big ones too.
Yeah, it's the power of water is amazing.
Yes, it is. Joanne, you're up for treasurer.
I don't have anything other than the auditors will be here January 24th and 25th. And we've had the preliminary audit, and that went well.
Okay, and we have two, we can do them now.
Oh, yes, the policies. We renew these every year, fund balance policy and the investment policy. Just have to be signed.
Have you read through them already?
Pardon?
Have you read through
Oh,
them?
yes.
I have as well.
Yeah.
So I will make a motion that we accept the unbalanced policy as written and the investment policy as written.
Okay, I'll second that. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I also have the, wait a minute. I have almost signature yet, but I think you guys can sign it. The delegation of deposit authority, which these are the only people on this list that can make deposits. And we do this every year as well. But, so I gave a copy of that to the bank as well. And then this is the delegation of reconciliation authority, which Kate and I are the only two that, that balance the bank statements. So we do a policy for that. And we do these annually, so. So when we go into the bank to make a deposit, they ask, if they don't know us, they ask, like if Karen goes to Rochester, they'll ask her name and they check to make sure that she's allowed to deposit.
Interesting.
Yeah.
To deposit, I can see the withdrawal, but the deposit,
Look at
okay.
it, read the Rose's signature,
Okay.
yeah, because she can deposit.
Okay.
Great.
All
Thank
set.
you, thank you. That's all I have.
Okay. I think I've got all the committees that are here. When do we do this? We're gonna have to go into non-public. Before we do that, let's get some of this done. We've got an intent to cut up on map 25, lot 1. It's the root property up on 109 Wentworth Road. So I'll make a motion that we approve this.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We've got a letter here from Mr. Gary Wallace. He's going to be running an auction out of his home as a home-based business and questioned whether he needed a permit for that. And I sent to him our zoning ordinance, the section on home-based businesses, so we can look at that and see which category he fit into, and if it was a business that had impact outside the home, he has to get a permit from the selectmen. So he's going to make that judgment. If he needs a permit, he'll come back to us. So that was done last year. Let's do the bills.
So I have 2023 and 2024 bills. So here's, I will do my checker here. Okay, so these are 2023s. Okay, so we have Conservation Resources International, which is supplies for the archival. Craig has requested $277.74. Consolidated Communications, $126.08. Eastern Materials for 218-yard loads of gravel, $848. Karen Savasic for postage, $9.42. Staples for 1099 forms and some shredder bags, $38.07 total. And that's that for 2023.
And the total for that manifest is $1,299.31.
And I have another one. This one is also 2023.
These go with this?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is also 2023 list. Yeah.
I'll take a paper clip.
CAI Technologies, $237.50. This was a quarterly payment that we.
That's for tax map
Map.
maintenance. Is
Yes.
that something we want?
CMP Home and Property Maintenance. This is for mowing the town cemetery, $337.50. CMP Home and Property Maintenance for $787.50. And this was the cemeteries that we'll get reimbursed from the trust funds. Actually, we're $550 we're going to get reimbursed from the trust funds. $237.50 was for the Brookfield cemetery. CMP Home and Property Maintenance for mowing the town hall, $150. Eastern Materials for gravel and riprap, $2,436, and I'm assuming this was from the storm.
Yes.
Eversource, $251.08 and $27.59. Kinville Construction, $11,210. Most of it is storm damage. Marion Lynch submitted travel reimbursement for $13.10 for training in Wolfboro.
The total on that manifest is $15,450.27.
And these are going to be under 2024s. Got the fingers like yours, Rich. All right, Civic Plus, this is for the annual premium payment for the website, $2,346.75. Governor Wentworth, January payment, can you read this? 110,000? Yeah, okay, 110,545. Interware Development, this is for the dog license support, annual, $337. Kindle Construction, $2,377.50. New Hampshire Municipal, annual dues, $1,159.
Total for that, this manifest is $116,765.25.
I'll make a motion that we pay the bills as detailed on the manifest.
I'll second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. I know we have to go with the non-public, but I don't think there's anything left for us to do when we come out, except sign some checks.
You want to sign it? You want to sign it first? You want
I was
to?
gonna say, let's sign like Chris's so he can leave.
All right.
I mean, so he doesn't have to stay unless he needs to.
Pull out Chris's for me, and we'll do Chris's.
Yeah.
Just.
Just two? Okay. I'll do it later. Just a second, folks. We're going to go with the 91A, under 91A. 3(2)E, consideration or negotiation of pending claims or litigation, which has been brought against the town.
Can I ask one more question before we skedaddle, because I forgot when I was talking before? Do you want me to include anything about town meeting in the next newsletter?
Going to be the second Tuesday.
That's it, just town meeting second Tuesday kind of announcement? Keep it kind of generic?
The public hearings are scheduled for early February.
Right, the newsletter would be going out in like mid-February, so in time for public meeting, but I didn't know if you did or didn't want me to put something about it in there.
Well, the warrant and the budget is all open for change until we have our public hearings, which is in early February.
Okay.
So if you're at those public hearings, then there might be some changes that you might want to put into the newsletter.
Gotcha.
But the hearings are going to be scheduled first week in February.
Okay.
And the planning board's got one coming too. You might want to go to
I've
that one.
got that one on my calendar.
The actual meeting is not going to be on Tuesday night though. When's the warrant meeting? After the vote?
Saturday. It's
Is it going to be Saturday?
It's scheduled for 10 o'clock Saturday morning.
Okay.
That's what the current warrant says. But again, that's the schedule today. I don't expect it to change. Okay, let's go into...
Mr. Chair, you had said that there was a lack of availability to the internet over at the townhouse. Was that looked into?
We're working on that.
Okay.
I've not met with
Steve,
Steve, so we keep missing each other, so I've sent him my most recent text, to see if we can get together tomorrow.
we met with the IT fellow, and we know how we want to do it.
Okay.
We have to get some cabling done.
Thank you.
That's good.
Did you vote? Did you roll call vote? I didn't hear a roll call.
Roll call, I'm sorry, you're right. All in favor of going into non-public? Zacher, yes.
Gothier, yes.
Thank you. 6:33.
Oh, true.
This guy.
You ready?
Yes.
I'll make a motion, we come out of non-public.
I'll second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And I'll make a motion, we seal the meeting minutes indefinitely.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anything else? Meeting is adjourned.
6:46.
And we have some signatures, you want some signatures?
You know, you have to sign each individual bill if you're signing on the because that means that you approved
would rather sign the bill than the manifest.
I know, but the manifest is required.
Is there a policy?
Yeah.
There you go, that's the first thing you would look up.
So, I would say,
So what you're saying, you want to?
I'm saying that
Sign this.
you sign that, and you're given authority to pay all those bills, but
Do
if
we need
you,
to initial these?
well, we always have in the past,
I like initials because I want to know.
Yeah, I mean, you got a description here. It's easier to remember.
Because I want to look at them.
sign them.
Look at all these. Got it. Oh, I should have said,
we're still running.
please check the website for our next scheduled selectmen's meeting.
So it will not be next week.
It's not going to be the 23rd, we're voting.
It's,
Huh? You hear that, Abigail? We're not meeting the 23rd. We're going to vote.
You got that they know.
Yeah, I know.
usually you meet that, usually you meet that,
Nice, always.
The plumber doesn't matter. We'll see in December, in November.
No, they do.
you usually meet every time we vote, usually before you vote, but you're not doing it.
No. No, because shh, you're on the mic.
Yes, please, thank you.
So why can't anybody deposit money in the account? Why does,
I don't know, but they asked.
Yeah, Mary Lou used to have us sign it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
And I think
yeah,
that
we've
was for Mary.
we've been doing it forever.
I
But I just wondered now, after 12 years, I want to know why.
I suppose someone could go in and have access to, like, when you make a deposit, they give you the printout, sometimes they put the balance on there, but it probably has.
That's what I think it is.
Yeah.
That's exactly. Would you like to know your balance?
Right. Right.
So if somebody could say yes, now they know how much you have.
So you're pouring in.
I think I got these, I think I got most of these.
Right.
That's one packet.
Those that are upside down.
Oh, there's more?
Of course there is. Of course there is. Yeah, I've got to sign these, don't I? I had heard that the dinner was scheduled for the 27th, that's why I brought it up, because Rick Surratt wanted it to be put on the calendar, and I'm thinking,
It's gonna have to go, that,
There's not enough room.
yeah, no, it's gonna be,
no,
even in February, if we leave it out all that time.
He's taking those booths up and down. If he wants to take them up and down, I'm okay with any time. Anytime. But he couldn't get it till the last time.
Is this, do we need to sign it? Is this you?
no, I can,
There's no-
well, this, no, actually, Mary Ann's supposed to.
There's no checks here.
I made this form up because she just,
Oh, she needs,
Yeah, yeah,
so
she
so
needs to
you
sign.
just want me to initial?
yeah.
Okay, thank you.
There's no checks here. It's just.
No, these are just the bills.
Yeah, you've got all the details.
We already done all the checks.
So confused. What is this?
That's the other manifest. We have three manifests that we were off. Two from 23 and one from 24.
That one's signed. You doing checks, Ann?
No, these are just the invoices, we're just initialing them.
There was only one Oh, sure. All right.
We are good with
We're out of here.
having a little party.
6:52.
On the 7th.